What happens when the best offense in the league meets the best defense? Two worlds clash in an absolute masterclass. A true showing of the right way to play basketball. When elite playmaking, ball movement, and shot creation clashes with true hardcore, in your guts physical defense, one side is going to have to give, and one side is going to reign supreme. This is the youngest NBA Finals since 1977, nearly 50 years. And these are two teams that are composed from the ground up, not teams spending hundreds of millions of dollars to acquire a superstar, that don't work the system, that don't put the team over the edge, putting their team in trenches, rebuilding phases, and struggling to gain an identity. Two teams that took a lot of young talent and mended it under smart coaches, creating a culture along with their budding stars. On the Pacers side, under Rick Carlisle, a championship coach, and led by Tyrese Halliburton, they created a wonderfully run offense that pushes the pace, moves the ball swiftly, and creates high percentage shots. The Pacers in the playoffs, the Pacers are second in offensive efficiency, first in field goal percentage, first in three-point field goal percentage, first in mid-range field goal percentage, and first on wide-open shots. That all starts with Tyrese Halliburton, who is expediently good at not turning the ball over and finding his teammates right when they need the ball to score, right where they need to be effective. He'll find the slasher dunking, he'll find wide-open people in the paint, the three-point shooters, and he'll just know when to give the hot hand leverage to cook one-on-one. In Game 4 of the Knicks series, he had 32 points, 15 assists, and 12 rebounds, all on 0 turnovers. He's the first player in NBA history with that stat line. A triple-double with 0 turnovers. As a unit, they have several weapons that can create their own shot or knock down the shot when they get passed to. They understand their roles and run plays to get everyone the rock where they can shine. Not only do they have Tyrese Halliburton, who has become a sensation this playoff run, they have Pascal Spicy P. Siakam, who won the Eastern Conference MVP, who is a champion already in Toronto. Pascal Siakam knows the finals. He's been here before and he's closed it out. He's going to lead the team, their mindset and their physicality, because that's going to be very important, especially against their opponent, the OKC Thunder. On this side, you have a team composed of a bunch of animals that have put their body inside of you and jab at the ball at any chance they get. They pride themselves on their defense. They have made it a living hell for any team that went up against them this season. Trapping, getting their hands in the passing lanes, and blocking. A lot of blocking. So much blocking. One thing about the OKC Thunder is that they're going to run the ball down the court after they get a steal. They have 5 more points off of turnovers more than any other team in the playoffs. And they're averaging 23.8 points off turnovers this postseason, which is 20% of their scoring. Contrast that to the Pacers, who give an NBA low 12.5 points off of turnovers. The Thunder have a lot of young, athletic, physical bucks. You have Shai Alexander, who averaged 1.7 steals per game. You have Lou Dort, who was first-team all-defense. Jalen Williams, who's second-team all-defense. They have the 2 paint protectors, Chet Holmgren and Isaiah Hartenstein, who just erase many shots. And you have just a bunch of elite hounders that pound the ball, apply pressure, quick hands, blocks, athletic. They do all the right things on defense. The OKC Thunder are unbelievably active on defense. And you had Alex Caruso, who was successful, or some people would say successful, at guarding Nikola Jokic in the second round. You have Lou Dort, who's a 6'4" linebacker playing basketball. You have Aaron Wiggins, very athletic, quick hands. Their team from top to bottom is just a bunch of high-level defenders that never give up on a play and never stop playing defense. This team has brought defense back. I know a couple years ago, people were talking about, oh, defense is dead. Nobody plays defense. Not anymore. With the recent rule changes that allows a little more intensity and more hands-on, the Thunders have taken advantage of that, and they have fully used it and wielded that to make that their strong point. This team is unbelievably aggressive. They full court press. They do everything to tire you out because they got them young legs. They can keep going. But, like I said, this is the youngest playoffs in 50 years. The Pacers have the same thing. The Pacers have pretty good defense too. Andrew Nembhard, he's been a menace on defense this postseason. Tyrese Halliburton is 6'5". They have a good defensive scheme too. They are very well coached. They are both very well coached. Mark Daigneault, the Thunder, and Rick Carlisle have great offense and defensive sets. And it's proven efficient, and it works because both of these teams are in the finals. But one of these coaches and one of these teams are gonna have to fold. They were truly the best team in the playoffs in their respective conferences. And honestly, since January, Pacers have been the best team in the East, and all season, OKC's been the best team in the West. That's why the OKC Thunder got 60+ wins and have been the #1 seed all season and never looked back. They cruised to the playoffs, only losing 4 games, sweeping the Grizzlies, went to 7 against Denver, and lost 1 against Minnesota. But this was the same thing said about Pacers, who only lost 4 games. Went to 6 against Knicks, went to 5 against Cleveland, went to 5 against the Bucks. Might I mention that the Cleveland Cavaliers were the #1 seed and the #1 offense throughout the year, but the Pacers beat them. So now they're the #1 offense. Simple as that. So we have the #1 defensive team led by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the MVP, NBA point scorer, leading scorer, Western Conference Finals MVP against the Indiana Pacers, and Tyrese Haliburton, who went from the most overrated player in the league, voted by his peers, to the best player in the East. Simple as that. Being the #1 seed, being a former MVP, being the New York Knicks, who looked like a weapon, who beat the last year's champions. They've done it all. This is honestly going to be the best finals in at least 3 years. Definitely better than the Heat Denver. Definitely better than Celtics Mavs. Celtics Warriors, that was pretty good. That went to 6. So this might equal or be better than that, but definitely better than the last 2. Because we have 2 teams that actually were the best in the league, in their conferences. And not just, like, as much as I love the Heat, like, they made that run with a roster that shouldn't have made that run. But this Pacers squad is actually young, promising, athletic. They actually just, like, I'm not saying the Heat don't deserve to be here, but they aren't going to fold and crumble against the Thunder. Like, this is a team that can compete at the highest level in the finals. I am going to stay consistent with my take. Even though, you know, I've been watching some more Thunders recently, and I've been really seeing that, yes, their defense is unbelievable. I'm going to stay with my take that Pacers are going to win the championship this year. And I'm going to go Pacers in 7. You heard it here. Pacers in 7. Yeah. Pacers in 7. Yeah. She was
a fairy with a fatty on my daddy.
But, yeah, that's been it for me. I've been Jonathan Charlier. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.